some antecedents and sources of opportunities. I'd like to take an example just to indicate the state of affairs we are currently going through. If you look at the average lifespan of Fortune 500 companies, it has been steadily decreasing over the years. It has been rapidly coming down. Earlier, the life expectancy was about 75 years, and now it's about 15 years. Therefore, what you see is only 61 of the companies that were in Fortune 500 in 1955 still exist in 2004. That's about 12% of the companies managed to stay there. The rest of the companies have been taken over or not doing as well as they used to. What it means is that established ventures are going to be threatened by newcomers. This is what Schumpeter calls as creative destruction. So what does it mean for people like you and me? The environment to start and run your venture is better now than at any other point of time. Your ability to threaten a very large company is higher now than at any point of time. So let's take Indian scenario. India has been relatively stable thanks to what we call as the license Raj. Very archaic policies on industry, but again, the Indian environment is changing rapidly. For instance, companies like Flipkart have managed to create a new market for e-commerce. So riding on Flipkart's success, we have so many other e-commerce companies that have come. Most importantly, we now understand the logistics of supply and delivery across the country. So therefore, more and more new companies are able to ride on Flipkart's logistics and start and run ventures. Similarly, you have CaratLane, which is selling diamonds online. We have another company, Maggi, that we introduced you to in week 1. A company called Zoho in Chennai, which has been fairly successful for a long period of time. Just Books is another company that we are all introduced to. Cradle, Cloud9. So all these companies are challenging the existing models, not very far away from where we are currently living. So what are the sources of opportunity? I just would like to take you through to understand antecedents of what would now be an opportunity. So why do we even have these opportunities? Why is it that some of the large companies that existed in the past don't exist now? Or they are no longer in a position of superiority that they were earlier in. So the first change that brings about this is technological change. Technology is constantly changing, so the companies in the past would have had earlier technology compared to the newcomers that are coming now. Also, technology is making certain things possible that were earlier not possible. For instance, it is said that a lot of people in India or perhaps in other emerging economies as well will experience internet for the first time through the mobile phones and not through desktops. So what does it mean? It means that if you're a startup and if you can understand how people are using mobile phones, you can reach out to them in a language that they understand, because India has about 15 official languages, and you could start to threaten large commerce companies. You could perhaps understand how to deliver content to these people. Perhaps they could now start learning from these mobile phones. They could also use mobile phones to understand the latest changes that are happening in the environment around them. Technological changes will help a lot of startups come up and challenge the might of the incumbent organizations. Another change is political and regulatory changes. Government plays a very important role in enabling or curtaining particular opportunity space. For instance, payments. India demonetized a large portion of its currency last year. That enabled many young companies and offer solutions for digital payments. So, if you look at the entire digital payment space, they existed for a long time until the government made this change happen. So, government through its policy can make or break a venture. So, keeping track of regulatory changes could also give you ideas about where the new opportunities are likely to come in. And the final source of opportunity is social and demographic change. These changes are significant antecedents to opportunities. And in a lot of countries, we have young people. Japan is getting older, India is getting younger. A lot of people in India now live in nuclear families. unlike in the past where there were joint families. So what does that mean? It means that nuclear families could have both husband and wife working. That will also give you a lot of opportunities in terms of restaurants, in terms of new food delivery, in terms of childcare, in terms of domestic help. All of these have started to become extremely lucrative business ideas because as a society we're moving towards from a joint family system to a nuclear family system. Another thing that is happening is the demographic change in terms of people getting older. So you also have youngsters in India working in other countries and other cities, which means that you need to have people taking care of the parents. So maybe there are products and services that could come up to address the needs of the elderly. All these give you nice little spots for you to identify good opportunity that you could start your venture in.